People dislike wisdom if they dislike the mouth it comes from. Now, if you're interested in more such sharp, spiky commentary, then Manu Joseph's book, Why the Poor Don't Kill Us, is the perfect read for you. This book will make you squirm, this book will make you introspect, and it will perhaps make you feel a little bit guilty about your daily prejudices as Manu Joseph holds the mirror to you. The premise is simple. In a deeply unequal society like ours in India, where the poor outnumber the rich, why don't they rise in revolt? Why don't the poor kill us? And Manu Joseph takes us through 18 such chapters in this book, talking about his life, his fieldwork as a journalist, his travels, his encounters with people to answer that one question. The question is terrifying, and Manu Joseph's observations through the course of this book are extremely interesting, but that's all you get. You get Manu as that friend who always raises that question. He will provoke, he will point, he will, pinch a little bit. Manu questions, but does Manu analyze? No. I felt that some of this nuance came in chapters that were deeply personal. So, for instance, one of the chapters deals with his first assignment, which was to cover the aftermath of the earthquake in Bhuj, which was extremely devastating. And Manu had the most horrifying experiences there, but it also taught him a lot about human psychology. Another chapter that I enjoyed greatly was one on money lenders, and the chapter started with a little anecdote from Manu's childhood where his mother would go to the local pawn shop and gives away some of her jewelry in order to get either money or some food for her children to eat. Now, Manu makes an interesting observation here. He says that most people don't buy jewelry because it looks beautiful or pretty. They know that it will be pawned off at some point. He talks about how these Malayali moneylenders were very conscious of the fact that their trade was to lend money to people during a bad time. And so they had strict instructions for their staff that every time someone came over to give some of their jewelry, the staff would be sensitive about it. They would ask for context. They would also sort of try and gauge if this person really needs the money, but there would be no harassment. They would behave like part of a community that's keeping your jewelry for a little bit while you get your finances back together. And the billionaire owner of this money lending firm always made sure that he traveled in economy and not business, because he said that I didn't want to be perceived as someone who flies business, who lives a lavish life at the cost of other people's misery. Whenever there's question of hierarchy, whenever there's question of subjugation or submission in a country like ours, you can't help but think of caste. And Manu has very little analysis based around caste to explain why the poor don't kill us. Apart from the fact that Manu doesn't delve a lot into caste, the book also doesn't deal with land, capital, and exploitation. And those are all the basis for hierarchies and for subjugation. Now, why would you read this book that essentially roasts you? Well, Manu does roast his readers. That's his exact audience. English speaking, liberal Indian, those are the people Manu's roasting. And while I don't intend to sermonize, the reason why I like this book so much is Manu would take instances from his own upbringing, of his own childhood, to basically get a point across and to notice how people behave when it comes to money. So let me know what you think of this book, and as my natural lighting starts to fade, I will wrap this episode. Thank you for watching.